I'm not a big shopper when it comes to many other things, but books, I will throw all my money at. Hey, what's up you guys? It's Avery and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who haven't been here before, glad you made it. What's up? How are you doing? Today's video is going to be kind of fun. It's going to be a book haul, which everybody loves. Maybe not everybody. I love book hauls. I love filming them. I love watching them. I just think it's fun to talk about books that you've bought because I do enjoy buying books. I'm not a big shopper when it comes to many other things, but books, I will throw all my money at. Plus this video is going to be kind of cool, I think, because I'm going to be showing you some footage from some cool bookstores that I've gone to around New York, and that's where all of these have come from. Wait, that's not true. Not all of them have come from there, but a good few have come from some bookstores in New York City. Honestly, that's kind of all I've got for you for an intro. So without further ado, let's start talking about some of these books. So the first bookstore that I want to talk about is a really cool bookstore called Housing Works Bookstore. And Housing Works is a thrift store, nonprofit type chain? Is that the right way to say it? I don't know. Here in New York. And they also have a bookstore that is completely devoted to used books, which is so much fun because I love to thrift and I love getting used books for cheap prices. It's like my favorite thing in the entire world. Hell will literally have to freeze over for me to buy a book for full retail price, unless it's a new release that I'm just super excited about. Other than that, I generally won't do it. But the other really cool thing about the Housing Works bookstore is that it is also where Taylor Swift filmed part of the All Too Well short film. At the end of the music video, when she is doing a reading of her book, that is the Housing Works bookstore, and it's so cute. It's one of the cutest ones I've been to in the city, and I feel like it's not super talked about or super known, and I don't understand why because it's adorable and I loved going in there, and all of the books are a really great price. So the first book that I got from Housing Works is A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams, which is a play, if you guys aren't familiar. We've got shirtless Marlon Brando on the cover, which is always fun because it looks like I'm reading just straight up romance instead of an actual pretty popular play. And I haven't seen the movie before, but I know of the movie, and I just thought that I would get it because it was listed for $5, but then it was on a cart that said half off, so $2.50 for this play. And I've already read it since purchasing it, and I really liked it. I love reading plays because it's just reading dialogue is a really fun way to consume stories because that's how we speak to each other. So I do love prose and I love descriptions, but also reading a play and just reading the dialogue is kind of fun too. And so I really thought this was very good and an interesting depiction of like mental health. Blanche was a really interesting main character, and you kind of don't know how to feel about her. You sympathize with her a lot, but then you also think she's a little crazy and that she acts a little insane. But I thought that this was really good and honestly a short read and worth it. So I can't wait to watch the movie. I do want to do that eventually. And then the next book I got I was super excited for. It is The Department of Special and nope, that's not right. The Department of Rare Books and Special Collections by Ava Jerzik. Okay, let me look it up. Jurczyk. It looks like it's Polish. It's pronounced Jurczyk, but either way, Ava. And I've heard of this book. It's on my TBR. I was super excited to see it there. It was only $3. I really just like buying books new when I'm not sure if I'm gonna like them, because it's really the worst thing to pay $20 for a book and then not enjoy it. But this one has been on my TBR and I got it for $3. It's about this woman named Liesel, and she works in the rare books department of a large university, and she discovers that the library's most prized manuscript is missing. She tries to sound the alarm, but she's told to keep quiet. Then another librarian stops showing up to work, and a bunch of sus stuff starts happening, and she has to figure out what's going on. And that's kind of all I know about it, but sounds pretty good to me. And I love reading books about books, so this one seems like a good one. So the next bookstore that I am going to talk to you about is Westsider Books on the Upper West Side. This bookstore is so cute. You walk in, it's super narrow. They have super high ceilings and they have books that go up the walls. It's adorable. It feels like a little library that should be in a village in a magical town, or it should be a library in like Hogsmeade or something. And so it's so cute, and they've got a wide range of books, all for pretty good prices. And I was super excited, super excited to find this book outside in the $1 section, which was insanity to me, and that is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. So this is a book of the month version of Anxious People, and I don't know if that's why it was for $1, because it's literally a hardback in really good condition. This was one of my favorite books of this year. Love Frederick Bachman, he's a great writer. And I read the book on my Kindle, so I'm super glad to have a physical copy of it now. But it's about this group of people who get held up in a hostage situation, and it basically follows each one of the hostages. Whoa, I can't speak. It follows each one of the hostages as well as the bank robber, and you learn about their lives just kind of intermittently back and forth, as well as the lives of the police officers and how they all intertwine and how they all eventually come to care about each other while they're in this really interesting hostage situation. And it's so good. Frederick Bachman really knows how to write about people. Like, that man knows what's up. So unfortunately, my one qualm about Westsider Books is that they only accept cards if you're going to pay a $10 minimum, and I was super annoyed because I literally just wanted that one book for $1, and I never have any cash on me ever, because who carries cash? I don't know. I don't. So I decided to go back in and look to see if there was anything else that would catch my fancy that could up my total. And I found this. It looks kind of cute, kind of fun. It's The Arts of Beauty or Secrets of a Lady's Toilet by Madame Lola Montez. And it originally caught my attention because the cover is so cute. But it's about this woman named Madame Lola Montez, who is kind of an icon during her time. She was a sensational success for being a dancer in Europe. Because of her beauty and charm, she became a friend of Tsar Nicholas I. In Paris, she was the cause of a duel in which one of her lovers was killed. Then she moved and met this guy in Bavaria who made her countess. And she basically just been all over the world, ended up in New York, became a friend, companion of Walt Whitman. So she was just kind of a fun it girl, is what it sounds like. And this book is a book about the arts of beauty. So this was written during the mid-19th century, and I'm really more interested in reading it to learn more about that time and what was considered, you know, beautiful in terms of beautiful eyes, a beautiful hand, beauty of the voice. So I just think it'll be interesting to read about what her thoughts were and how she employed these things in order to make a bunch of men become obsessed with her. It also has hints to gentlemen on the art of fascinating, which apparently is like a funny satirical version of how men should treat women, or I think that's what it is. So this was $10 and I thought it was cute. It also like is pretty, so I can display it in my home, and it upped my total so that I could get my other book for $1 too, so works for me. Okay, and then the last book I'm going to talk about, which I got from a bookstore in the city, is from Book Off, which is a used bookstore in Midtown. Book Off is great because it has a really large $1 section of books, and when I saw this book in the $1 section, I about lost my mind. I was so excited.
I'm so excited.
It is The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. If you guys know me, I talk about this series on my channel all the time. I love this trilogy, and before getting this, I only had the first and second books, and this one was literally in perfect condition, a hardback for $1 at Book Off, and I was in shock a little bit. I pulled it off the shelf and I was like, hello? So Book Off is a really cool store. They've got other things too. They have like CDs and movies and action figures, just lots of different collectibles. And then the upstairs has all of their books and a great $1 section. So this trilogy is a YA fantasy series set in the world of fairy. It follows a girl named Jude as she tries to kind of make her way up the fairy courts, even though she is a human and fairies pretty much hate humans. and this is the third and final book in the series. I still have not read The Stolen Heir yet. My mom just read it and said that she really loved it, so I'm gonna get it from her next. But I'm excited to read that. Love the series, and I kid you not, one of the best days of my life finding this for $1. I'm gonna put it up there right next to its brothers and sisters. And the last 3 books are books that I got from Thrift Books, which I have talked about on my channel, but it's been a while since I've ordered anything from Thrift Books. Thrift Books is a great online website, not an offline website, an online website, just in case you were confused. But it's a great website where you can get thrifted books for pretty good prices, and as long as you spend more than $10, I think. Wait, is it $20? I don't want to spread fake news. Oh, $15. Okay, so if you spend $15, then you get free shipping. You can spend around $15 and get like 3 books, which is lovely. All of these books I got are books that I have read but I loved, and I wanted to own physical copies of them, and I just didn't want to pay $25 for the new book when I could get them for $6 from Thrift Books, which is amazing. So the first one I got is Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. And all 3 of these books that I'm going to mention were actually former library books, and I don't know what the process is of how Thrift Books gets the former library books. I really don't know how that works, but when they come to you with the plastic around them that, you know, like library books are kind of decked out. So I had to do some like surgery on them. I had to like carefully cut all the plastic off of the covers and everything, but it wasn't super difficult when I figured out how to do it. So then I have the normal hardback. And Beautiful World, Where Are You is a great book that follows 2 couples. I guess I would rather say it follows 2 best friends named Eileen and Alice, and then their relationship with each other as well as their relationship with 2 men in their lives. And it's just a great book about friendship, about love, about relationships. The next book I got was Vincent and Theo by Deborah Heiligman, and this is an autobiography. Whoa, no. Not an autobiography. Vincent did not write this. This is a biography of Vincent van Gogh, and it's a really interesting biography because it is about his life, but through the lens of his brother's relationship with him. So it's about Vincent and his older brother Theo, and about the really strong bond, as well as sometimes the struggling relationship that they had together, and about how Theo really helped Vincent become, you know, the famous artist he is today. And I'm a big fan of Vincent van Gogh, love him, and so I really wanted to learn more about him and his life. And then this is also considered a YA nonfiction book, which means that it's written for a younger audience, and so it's not super hard to read like you might expect a regular nonfiction biography to read. I don't know if you don't mind that, but I really liked it, thought it was easy to read, and I really just wanted to own it. And the last book I picked up was Before Your Memory Fades by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is the 3rd book in the Before Your Coffee Gets Cold series, which I love, which I've talked about multiple times on this channel. This was the first book that I read this year because I love this series. They're so easy to read, so heartwarming, really make you think, really make you feel, and I totally forgot that it came out. The 3rd one came out like 2 months ago, and I've just sleeping on it. So I actually checked it out from the New York Public Library and loved it, and then found it on Thrift Books, literally in perfect hardcover condition for, I don't even remember how much it was. Not a lot. So now I have the first one and the 3rd one, but I don't have the 2nd book yet. I'm keeping my eyes out on Thrift Books for it because literally just wait it out and you'll find books that you really want on Thrift Books. Especially if you don't mind having books that have a little bit of wear and tear in them, which I don't mind. I don't need my books to be in perfect condition. I mean, I like used books. It means that someone else has read it and enjoyed it, and books are meant to be read. So if they get a little scuffed up in the process, that's fine. And that series is about a cafe in Tokyo that allows you to travel to the past, but you can only stay in the past for as long as it takes before your coffee gets cold. And there's a lot of other rules about traveling to the past, and it really makes you think, what would I go back in the past and do, even if I knew it wouldn't change anything, but who would I go see and what would I want to say to them? So those are all the books that I've picked up recently. I love buying books. It's a problem. I have too many that I haven't read yet to be buying more, and most of these that I've bought I have read, but I really fully believe in reading a book through the library before I buy it. So a lot of these books that I got I had read through Libby on my Kindle, loved them, and then I decided I want to have the real deal for my shelf. And that's the way I like to do it. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts on them are. Where do you like to buy books from? Do you like to buy them from Barnes & Noble and get them just fresh and new, or do you love to thrift them as well? If you live in New York and know of any great bookstores, let me know. Would love to check some new ones out. I still have some more on my list that I want to try out, and so maybe I'll do a part 2 of this video sometime in the future. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you will consider giving it a like. And maybe consider hitting that subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me in the future. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video.